Good evening. Just wanted to show you the side garden before these flowers disappear, because they look like they're curling up a little. These are the bearded iris. A lot of people comment on them when they walk past, and I think you'll agree they do look quite beautiful. Believe it or not, these are only planted last year. They were dug out of a clump in my dad's house a few miles away, and then I dug them in. They were about this tall last year, and this year they've just ballooned. So for some reason they seem to really enjoy this little patch of soil. Neighbours often comment on them, and I have dug some out. There was a patch there that grew up this way where that tree was cut, but I've dug them out and one of the neighbours has taken them, which is exactly what I love about gardening. Some people like what you do and they want a piece of the action, so it's all very good. Spread the love, spread the nature. This here we have a salvia. It's called amethyst lips. You see the purple flowers, like a really dark purple. They smell very, very citrusy, and when you run your hand through them, it's like a washing powder or some sort of soapy, citrusy smell, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And this was one cutting that I took from a bush that was planted in the back garden. You can see the back garden there. That's the back. You'll get to see that more in future videos. But literally, I think 2 years, this was only a small twig, and now it's just formed a massive, huge bush in the front garden. I'm very happy with that. And then we have the monster cherry tree, which will be getting cut back next year because it's getting too big, but we're going to let the leaves fall and then we can use them for compost and mulch. And bordering the side, we've got the prunus hedge, which was only supposed to grow to about 4 foot tall, according to the lady who sold it to me in the garden centre. But as you can see, it gets quite tall. I have to cut it back all the time, so she's in the bad books, that one, because I've seen some videos of these things growing literally into trees. So the hedge trimmers get a lot of action on that. Got a gorgeous little lavender that I didn't think would survive in this terrible soil, but it seems to be great and it smells beautiful. Alliums through the slate, and some red thing, I can't remember what that's called, but it sends a flower out. And this here is called dragon grass, black dragon grass, and that forms some purpley flowers as well, and apparently is pretty much indestructible. You can walk all over it. And then we've got a cherry bush known as porthos, I think. And this is about 3, maybe 4 years old now, and the cherries, they were quite bitter over the last few years, but I think this year they're going to be quite sweet. So we've got quite a few cherries forming on this one. And then moving across, we've got strawberries. This was the original strawberry patch that I did plant, and I cut that back right down to the soil in winter, and they've come back through already. Some have already formed, some are still flowering, and I think this is called Christine, the variety of strawberry. Let me check. Yeah, you can't see very well on there, but that's the Christine strawberry. And once they're planted, they're pretty much there forever, because a runner went through the fence there in the corner landed in the bed in the back, and they've just hopped all across the bed. So I've got a shed load of strawberries sitting in the border out there, which you'll see in another video. And here we have the corn. Never planted corn before. This year I thought I'd give it a go, and you are supposed to plant them in full sun, but this isn't the best spot for them. But well, they've germinated at least. This one seems to be doing very well. A few more are doing okay, and there's a few stragglers knocking about there. We've got one more there. I only planted that yesterday. That was grown in a pot because the one that was there didn't survive. I took the insect netting off recently, which was lying on the top there, and some sort of creature anyway munched all of the corn leaves, so that one got pulled out, and we've got a new fella there now. So we'll see if he comes to fruition. And then in the corner there you can see chives, which are pretty much one of my favorite crops. I planted them years ago, and you can cut them back all the way back to the base, and they'll just keep coming back year after year, and they flower. The bees go crazy for them. You can see these flowers here, they're dying off now, but when they're just about turning purple, when they first flower, the bees are just on them all the time. So chives are a phenomenal crop to grow in your garden. And in the pot here, recently planted some watercress, so we'll see if that comes up. So that's it for the side garden. I'll show you a bit more in other videos. So I'll leave you there with the bearded iris in the background and the beetroot in the foreground. And have yourselves a lovely evening.